And good morning from the lovely Darren Semi ground. Both teams, of course, have lost, so somebody is going to be happy this afternoon. In terms of happiness, let's see who is happy with the toss as we go to our match referee.
Good morning. Today we're about to witness the toss match number 15, Central CASTRIES versus South CASTRIES. I will hand over the coin to Central CASTRIES for spin. Heads call. Heads call. South CASTRIES win the toss.
We are going to have a bowl.
All right, defending champions, you have to make a statement. How do you plan to approach it today?
Last game we had a bat first and it didn't go quite as planned, so we're gonna change the whole setup today, and we're gonna have a bowl first and hopefully restrict them to a low total and get it.
Do you have any changes to your team today?
No changes. We're gonna go with the same team. I think that we had a decent showing in our bowling. Like I said last time, it was just our fielding that wasn't up to par and our batting, but this time we're gonna look to restrict them low, and then our batting, and we'll finish it.
I think there's also a competition to keep the extras down. How much are you guys committing to that?
Definitely, as I saw in our match and the other matches after, the pace bowlers tend to struggle with bowling from the pavilion end. So, I've thought about it and we've come up with a strategy to go against that, and it will work today.
Good luck, Jono.
Thank you.
Stephen, you have a strong reputation to maintain as well. You're representing Mindu, the spirit of Mindu. So talk to us about you representing today.
Well, our first game didn't go as planned. Played very poor cricket. We are looking today to better our performance from last game. We were also looking to bowl first as well today. But that's just how it goes sometimes. You win the toss, you bat first, you bowl first. Yeah.
You have changes to your team?
Yeah, we have two changes, one forced change and one change just to replace the next player.
What are the areas you're hoping to strengthen today?
Well, like you said, the extras, we had way too many extras for this sort of level of cricket. We are trying to cut down on that, and our batting has to click better, much better today.
Of course, you know that you guys represent CASTRIES, and CASTRIES need to register something today. One of you need to step up.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, one has to lose today, one has to win. Well, just hopefully we come out on top today.
Good luck, Stephen.
Thank you.
South CASTRIES deciding they're going to bowl first. The South CASTRIES was talking about a forced change.
Central CASTRIES said a forced change,
Yeah.
but they did not identify who exactly. But there
Yes.
are two changes, yes. Jemai Morissette and Efron Charles, they're out, and Raheem Joseph has joined, and Kyla Donis.
Well, if there's an injury, we wish the player well. In the qualifying stages, we had some 85 wides, and in the group stage, 98 wides, 14 no balls, and one maiden over by the injured Bunty Bess. He didn't need to come out to bat. He probably would have limped if there was a run or two to get. So from the pavilion end, good morning to everybody. Greg, we are starting with a wide.
And it's from the north. So maybe Johnson Charles was correct. Yes, Daniel Jabatis starting the attack from the northern end and is bowling first delivery wide outside to Gasper.
As he runs away. And that's a much better line, and a little decision to come forward and then pulling the bat away. So Prosper is not, Natram not. And good evening to all in India. And good morning to all in St. Lucia. I think today is another vaccine day at this center. Went well yesterday. That's an awful shot. You should be looking to cut that short outside the line of the off stump. I mean, I can imagine a Devon Smith would have been looking to hit the backward point boundary with that kind of line.
Yes, Gasback. Well, he sort of was looking to hit for the mid-wicket and last minute, right? To be fair to him, he sort of bailed out of the shot.
One without loss, and that's a good delivery, and it made some height. Well, it's Newstrip today, and just by judging the work of Jean-Baptiste, it's fairly lively.
Yes, very lively indeed, and he's certainly using his height to good effect.
So he comes back to his mark. He needs to remember what he did right there. Prosper not, Nathan, the non-striker, also a not delivery which is slapped away over the head of cover and into the boundary. This time not trying to hit through mid-wicket, but just going back and hitting it nicely, deliberately. The kind of over the cover. I think Gordon Greenidge and Desmond Haynes perfected that in Australia, where they decided that they will go over the top. They did it very well. Prosper did it extremely well. He's 4. It's 5 without loss. As the top edge, and he didn't do that too well, but he gets the maximum as it goes for, I think, 6. Well, I think he needs to double check that. I don't know if you agree with it, with that signal.
He's reversing the decision, and he has gone 6 now.
Yeah, so I was just about to say 6 when all of a sudden I saw the change in signal. So very quickly, 11 on the board. Very quickly, 11 on the board. We're still in the first over. We've had 5 deliveries. Jean-Baptiste is into the left-hander, and it goes, again, stepping back and lifting the delivery, choked him slightly. Difficult to play that shot. It's more available, maybe the uppercut. So after the first over, I can tell you that South CASTRIES, Johnson Charles winning the toss and deciding very quickly, Greg, that we will have a bowl.
Yes, that has pretty much been the trend for most of the team, winning the toss and bowling first. But after the first over rest, 11 runs, much better start. You could say to the Central CASTRIES innings, if I could make a quick comparison to the first game they were 9 without loss, and they're 2 better this time around, 11 without loss.
Marginally better. But you know, in the first couple of games, there was a lot of people sending the opposition, and then later in the competition, in the first week, the people were batting first.
Yes.
We've seen the reversal.
But I think if we look at the records, most of the teams chasing, they have done better chasing than batting first.
There's a slip as Gabriel is going to start from the far end. And Gabriel, tall, slim. First slip is very wide. And now it's wayward delivery. And maybe that supports the theory of Johnson Charles that the wides are coming from the far end.
Well, actually, we've had one from both ends.
Yes. Let's see if what he said at the toss is going to work out during the course of the day. He's halfway there, and then fiddling outside the line of the off stump, fishing, and luckily Gabriel didn't take the edge of Natram's bat. So Prospero started well. He's 10. He's a non-striker. He's 12 without loss. Passing the umpire and comprehensively beaten outside the line of the off stump. Well, that should encourage him not to go anywhere near a wide with that kind of control.
Yes, this one was down, what was it, down the corridor of uncertainty. Yeah. And Stephen Natram had to play at this one. Excellent delivery there by Xavier Gabriel.
I like to refer to it as the canal of danger. Now he makes good contact, nice looking shot. It wouldn't go into the boundary. They come back for the second. Didn't really hit it all that hard. It was more timing and placement. So after uncertainty, playing outside the line of the off stump, Natram is 2 Prosper is 10, 14 without loss, and the field now starting to adjust. There will be a short extra cover. Square leg is coming to mid-wicket. There's a fine leg. So backward point, cover, short extra cover, wide mid off, straight mid on, mid-wicket and fine leg. The delivery, which I think he picked up very early. Started, just pulled the bat inside. 14 for no loss. We've seen one nice shot in this over.
Yes, well controlled by Stephen Natram. Not looking to hit with brute force, but just using the pace of Xavier Gabriel and just easing it through the cover.
Greg is a former Central Castries batsman, and today playing a different role as he did the last time. This time back of a length, and he just goes back and runs it down to third man, just out of our view. Can now see him. Total inches up to 15 without loss. We are in the second over. One more delivery of the sixth over. And again, we say good evening to all our friends in India, whether you're a cricket fan or not. Caribbean is praying for all in India, as we are also, as I said yesterday, praying for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Arrangements being made by the West Indies board to get the IPL players back. We're told the New Zealand players will initially head to London as Gabriel heads in, and that's driving outside the land of the off stump to complete the second over.
Hi, I'm Tedison John of the Tedison John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
If Bopi and Jabatis can bowl that sort of line and length to the central openers.
Well, for the Indian audience, there are many comparatively new grounds. This was built before the 2007 World Cup. As we said yesterday, India played a 3-day game here to officially open the ground. Jean-Baptiste goes in and well pulls out of the attack. But Providence was built for the World Cup. The new ground in Grenada, Queen's Park, the new Queen's Park built.
I think Trelawney in
Yes,
Jamaica.
Trelawney was also built, but not used a great deal. Warner Park, also built for the World Cup, where Herschel Gibbs had was 6 sixes. That's outside the leg stump. Don't know which leg stump he was seeing, and the scamper, the leg by $60. Was there a leg by signal? No. Came off the bat? Yeah. So Natram has gone to 3, 16 without loss. That's Prosper Boseman's one, and that's pulled. When he was looking to do that early, there's a race here to put it back from wide mid on. It'll come back for the second run. Good running. Talking about changes of cricket grounds, Greg. Well, I mean, Kenton and Oval was refurbished totally, and of course, the Oval in Trinidad also improved, and of course, the Brian Lara Academy is now there for mainly one-day the white ball matches. 18 without loss, but the grounds in India that I see now are totally different from the 3 occasions I had the pleasure of going to India to cover ball by ball. Jean-Baptiste bowled and pulled out towards square on the onside. I think about a second run. He was hoping they can maybe get that through mid-wicket or forward of the square leg. So just a single, 19 without loss. But But the new grounds in India we've seen recently are really spectacular.
Spectacular indeed, Reds. Some big grounds catering for huge crowds.
Yes. Jean-Baptiste moves in. He's conceded 14 runs down the leg side. And Johnson Charles getting the glove to it. And parry it. And it's a wide call. So 21 without loss. In fact, I had the pleasure of going to the old Wankini Stadium. There was, in fact, hotel facilities at that ground. So teams stayed virtually on the premises. And that stopped, well, pretty bad effort, not even a contact to knock it down. It did come very quickly. It was short, and he just pulled it around. So runs coming here for Central Castries, 25 without loss, doing a lot better than when we first saw them in their opening game.
Well, in terms of wicket Reds, but not so much in terms of runs. The first game, the scores.
Jean-Baptiste balls, and that's banged away through cover for 4. So the left-handed Prosper looking very impressive indeed. Runs up the totals of 17. Natram, who's had very little of the strike and been turning it over, is on 3, and it's none for 29. And we are just completing the third over.
Yes, as you did indicate, better indeed. A while ago I thought it was over because the scores would have been similar to the first game they played. But in the first game they were 25-1 at this stage. But now they are 29. They were 25-1 and they are 29 without loss. So
Yeah.
as you did indicate, yes, much better.
Which is important.
Position in
Well,
this match.
For Indian viewers, this ground is really built in an amphitheater almost. And later on, I'm sure that our producer will be showing the high ground, very lush green around with homes being built. And initially called the Beauchamp and then named after the then West Indies captain Darren Sammy. Very picturesque. Kaimanje in the distance, in English, house full
Aaron
of
Joseph.
food. So it's a lefty come in, good delivery, came back, hit the pad, that's my call, and confirmed by the umpire. But certainly a very good first up.
Yes, good over indeed. The ball cut back sharply, hitting Stephen a little high on the pad, but good for his delivery indeed.
So 30 without loss as the left-hander. Well, there's our producer being very, very sharp. I will give our Indian viewers some idea of what we're talking about, the ambiance. And that's virtually right around this ground. So Joseph, the new bowler, left arm over, goes in, and that's a hit down and caught, very brilliantly caught. Now, we have seen some indifferent bowling, but we have seen some really marvelous catches, and it will be hard to keep maybe judging which was the, we saw one or two before, we thought, well, nobody's going to pass that. But it was short and hit down towards the mid-on, and well caught by Calendar.
Calendar.
So all of a sudden, out of the blue, from a great catch by Calendar, Central Castries are now 30 for 1.
Yes, Gaspar Prosper really Reds dragging one from way outside the Austin. It probably would have been best advised to hit the ball over the cover region, and we saw he executed that shot previously. But on this occasion, looking to drag one from outside the Austin towards the leg side and only hitting it straight to Colliner's Calendar, who took a brilliant catch because the ball was actually dying on him, perhaps about shin height, diving forward.
And when you take into consideration, because of the pandemic, people have not been in the nets, have not been practicing. I think that was really natural ability, good eyesight, good pair of hands. So what we've got here,
Dwight Thomas coming very early this time around.
Prosper, 21 from 13 balls, but he is gone. I wouldn't say gone his merry way because he walked off knowing, well, I should have kept that on the ground. But what bad luck to have a great catch. So Jean-Baptiste outside the leg stump and white signal. So Thomas joins Nathan. Nathan has been on the quiet side. He has had 7 deliveries for his 3. He needs to get a move on, Greg.
Yes, this year I read some of the opinion the captaincy is probably bugging Stephen to a certain extent.
This delivery, again down the leg side, nicely gloved by Johnson Charles, left glove. So West Indies board, as I said, working on arrangements to try and get the West Indies players in the IPL back. Trinidad will probably have to make special arrangements because they have not opened the country. This is the delivery which is driving down towards fairly deep mid-off. By the time he can come in, pick up some speed, picked it up. He's a lefty, and calendar there, but single easily taken. It's 1 for 33 with Matram 3 and new batsman Thomason 1. And Joseph has had 1 for 3. 1 for 3. Joseph on his way. This delivery is flicked away past the keeper and into the boundary below us. So a good boundary. Nice to pick up an early boundary. And Natram moving to 7. Thomas is 1. Read where the West Indies are thinking of a camp in Trinidad. Well, it was just not a press release. I did, in fact, get a WhatsApp message saying that they are planning a camp in Trinidad. 1 for 37, Joseph in his 5th delivery, and that's a big attempted drive. Bat coming over the shoulder. It will look good in a picture, but only one thing, it made no contact at all. And the total remains at 1 for 37. The rate is just under 10. Left arm over, Joseph. Moving the ball a bit and flicks that away as it came into him. So using the pace of the ball and the movement of the ball into the right-hander and got it out towards square leg.
Have you ever wondered how money can work for you? At Fix, we offer several investment options that can do just that. One option is the fixed deposit, which is a short-term investment where funds are deposited for a minimum of 1 year at an attractive rate, better than anywhere else. The fixed deposit is unique and tailored for both individuals and institutional investors, and gives you the option to reinvest for another period after maturity. For more information, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740 or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
Take on.
I think we've had, what, 3 outstanding catches?
Yes, for sure. The Cotton Bowl yesterday.
Yep.
And Chad Goodman in the cover region.
Yes. So, Leo comes into the attack and it gets the outside jet, but no slip. And Johnson Charles starting to move and realized that he would not have gotten there. And, well, the horse was bolted. The gate was open. And that would be a regulation catch, the first slip as it moves up to 42 for 1.
Well, like Clive was normally said, looked like an educated edge. It may have been deliberate.
Oh, I have my doubts. Now, square drive or a touch of class there into the boundary. Nice shot, beautiful shot, just bending of the knees and reaching out. Nice picture, I remember Len Hutton. He used to play that extra cover drive, 169 against the West Indies on board in 54, and he played some lovely extra cover and square drives, and he had, his left hand was a short hand. That's the top edge. Will this be a catch? No, it's a difficult one because it's going with the wind as mid-wicket is running back. And I was actually looking quickly, trying to judge the catch first to see if they were to come back, try the second run. So only one, 47 for one. Thomas is one, Natram is 17.
Yes, Stephen Natram starting to get a move on. He has been out there for a while now.
So Leo on the leg stump, turned away to fine leg, working the singler, rotating the strike, 48 for one. But Len Hutton, I think, who was injured during the war, Yorkshire and England, of course, in 1954 took an England side and won the Ashes in Australia. That's pitched up and just quietly just coming forward and dropping the ball onto it. So 49 for one, 49 for one. But that was a great Ashes victory in 54. And of course, Ray Illingworth repeated that. Not a Yorkshireman. Tough captains. Leo. Then his sixth delivery. And that's again played down towards a third man. And the photo has been completed. So good start, 50 for one. The basic foundation is there to get up well past the 100. It's going to be Greg and Clive's Jules. We say congratulations on the way how he celebrated his wife's birthday yesterday and ordered a cake and took it all the way back to his country residence.
Yes, good start by Central CASTRIES Mindu Heritage at the halfway stage, 50 for one. Certainly they have a sort of base to launch from, with some 9 wickets still in the bag and 5 overs remaining. They certainly can go for broke at some point in time. Looking at the previous performance, in the first game at the halfway stage, they were 44 for 2. So 6 runs better this time around and 1 wicket less.
Good morning, Greg Wilson, and good morning to all our viewers over in India as well as the other parts of the world. A good, very good foundation for Central CASTRIES. The Mindu Heritage team has a good platform to launch from there. And the bowler is Simmons, Romario Simmons. And he's bowling at from the players' pavilion end, Romario Simmons for South CASTRIES. The score has moved on very quietly from the first delivery to 51. And Natram is batting on 18. And Dwight Thomas doing the right thing in this partnership, giving the strike to Natram. This one is fairly wide, and the umpire will duly signal a wide from Simmons. The words of the bowlers and the fielding team continues with the wides, Greg Wilson.
Yes, quite a number of wides, but we're trying to keep notes. Johnson Charles made an interesting observation.
And into the covers by Captain Natram. He remains on 18 from 15 deliveries. He can't trouble the scorers on this occasion. Simmons bowling a tighter line on this occasion. Not very pacey, but right on target is Romario Simmons. He moves in and bowls to Natram, and Natram is pushing this one again into the cover region. Good stop there by the fielder, just moving away to his right. That's Aaron Joseph, and making a good stop, saving the one for sure. 52 for 1, Central CASTRIES Mindu Heritage. A good start for them, good platform to launch from, as Simmons again bowls the left arm over the wicket into Natram, and this one is worked to a wideish third man. and they come through for one. Kemal Charles does the fielding back to his brother and captain Johnson Charles. One more to the total, 53 for one. Natram has moved to 19. He's played some good shots. He's getting into his own in this innings and brings Thomas on strike. And Thomas is backing away, but this time Simmons has transgressed. And a white signal there. The score moves on by 1 to 53. But Thomas, we've seen that a lot in the tournament so far, Greg Wilson, the batsmen backing away, giving themselves room, moving to leg and trying to hit the ball.
And most of the time they are not being effective.
It does not work as Romario comes. It's in the air, it should be taken, and it's taken. Very comfortable catch. Moving away, seems to be moving away, a little bit of movement from Romario Simmons and looking to play an inside out, not making proper contact, although he had the assistance of the wind, but Dwight Thomas on this occasion can't clear calendar, and he's taken success for Romario Simmons.
Yes, very soft dismissal there by Dwight Thomas, really looking for the inside out shot, but the ball really was a sort of a back of a length. He was not really up to the pitch of the ball, and it struck high up on the bat and really could not get the sort of elevation that was required to go over the head of Cornelius Calendar, and presented a very simple catch to him.
Simple, he made it look simple in the end, but his initial movement, he thought that it seemed to indicate that he thought that ball was going over his head and saw that it was landing just short. And the Calendar moving in, taking a very, very simple catch over the right shoulder in the end. But Dwight Thomas not getting the elevation or distance on this occasion, and he just only succeeding in presenting a good catch to Calendar. And Simmons is bowling to Natram. The batsman crossed, and Natram is pushing this one into the onside, and a long one comes around and restricting them to just two. Two more to the total, 50.
My name is Godfrey. I have been doing cassava from young with my mom. She showed me everything to do with cassava, how to grate it to prepare the cemetery. I enjoy making it. It's my life. That's my canoes.
Dismissal of Gasper and Dwight in successive overs, and these two would, with 4 overs remaining, perhaps would need to bat deep into the innings. If they can do just that, I feel Central Castries perhaps would get the 90 plus to 100 runs.
Alain Prosper, his reputation ahead of him. He's a good hitter of the ball. It's Leo to continue from the media center end, and that short of a length, a lifting delivery outside off, and Alain Prosper not making any contact. He's looking an attempt to hit this one through the mid-wicket region, but not successful on this occasion, Greg Wilson.
He probably would have been best advised to hit it over the slip cordon.
Certainly, and this time Leo is well up to him, and he's driving into the offside. There's a chance of a run out. Not really. The run was completed. He took a bit of pace of that ball as he pushed it out towards an extra cover and comes through for a run. Alain Prosper gets off the dreaded knot, and he's on one. The score moves on by 1 to 57 for 2. Leo has bowled 1.2 overs so far, none for 13, and he bowls to Natram, and Natram, that nagging length outside off and through to wicketkeeper Johnson. Natram is looking to play that shot. He essays that shot through to mid-wicket, but not making any contact again. A very uncomfortable length break.
Yes, the nagging back of a length, which has proven to be troublesome for most of the batters.
Leo, something is not right, he says on this occasion, and he presses the reset button. He goes back to the top of his marker. He's bowling to Stephen Natram. He's on 21 from 19. Full delivery, and Natram was sort of deceived by this one. And a slower ball there also from Leo, Siobhan Leo. Good decision. A full delivery. Natram was only able to put it out towards the short mid-wicket, and no run resulting.
Yes, good change-up delivery there by Leo to Stephen Natram.
Again, Leo into Natram. He outfoxed him, and this time it's in the air, out towards the boundary. A wide-ish, a third man, and he gets that boundary. 4 runs to Stephen Natram. He moves on to 25, and the score shoots up to 61 for 2. A good option from Stephen Natram on this occasion, Greg Woodson.
Yes, this one just a bit wide outside the off stump, and he really just cut it over the point region. Chose the aerial route, and which was a good option, and got 4 valuable runs.
4 good runs there again. Leo not getting it right, deciding to go back to the top of his mark. Siobhan Leo, probably a bit of nerves, having been struck for 4 lovely runs from Natram in the previous delivery. He comes into Natram, and this time he's beating Natram. All ends up outside of stump through to Johnson Charles, the wicketkeeper. A good delivery, good comeback delivery here from Siobhan Leo.
Yes, good into the over after being struck. Independent with delivery for 4. Really, the sort of nagging limb that we have spoken about, the back of a length, right in the corridor of uncertainty, and there's nothing really Stephen Natram could have done other than just pull the bat away, which was a wise decision.
He did well not to present a fairly simple edge or not to feather it through to Johnson Charles and his waiting glove. It will be Aaron Joseph to continue, and he's bowling left over the wicket. It looks like it's Aaron Joseph to continue left arm over the wicket into Prosper. Prosper is batting on 1, and this Prosper is driving out towards long off, and he's just jogging a single. The score moves on by 1 to 62 for 2. Aaron Joseph, he is in the middle of a very good spell. Young Aaron Joseph, he's bowled 1.1, 1 for 9. And he moves in again, bowls to this time Captain Natram. And Natram is picking him up out towards the mid-wicket and falling just short of the square leg fielder, just moving around to his left. And they come through for 2. Aaron picking Natram on this occasion, picking up Aaron off his pads and into the breeze.
No ball signal by
And it's a
Darius.
no ball by umpire Darius. A belated call as well from umpire Darius. It's free hit to Natram. Natram is going to get the benefit of a free hit. He's on 27 and he gets a free hit, an opportunity to push on for the Central Castries Mindu Heritage. It's Joseph with a free hit to Natram, and it's driven with some venom back past the bowler. Umpire Darius had to take some evasive action. That was driven really hard by Natram.
Firmly driven there by Stephen Natram. Really took the right option with the long on, long off, wide. Really struck this one firmly back past the umpire for 4.
Sharp reflexes from umpire Darius, and this time Aaron Joseph is straying down the leg side, and an extra run wide. The score has moved again very quickly to 70. Aaron Joseph has bowled 2 legal balls and he's gone for quite a bit in this over. He needs to keep his nerve, Aaron Joseph. Stephen Natram has moved to 31 from 24 deliveries. He's playing a captain's knock today, and this time with the wind out over long off, it goes into the Johnson Charles stand. 6 runs to Stephen Natram.
Yes, over pitching this one right in the arc, and Stephen just good flow of the bat, just hitting through the line of this one, way over the head of Calendar into the stand for more valuable 6 more runs added to the total.
76 for 2, it has moved to Natram on 37, Prosper, his partner on 2, the partnership 22. Joseph moves in and bowled to Natram and just working this one out towards the boundary, and third man. Chase has been given and unsuccessful on this occasion. Cameron Charles is just taking the dive, escorting that one over the boundary. 4 more to Natrum, and deft touch there from Natrum on this occasion.
Yes, exquisitely played there by Natrum. The soft hands, and Kemal Charles giving chase, and this one was just teasing Kemal Charles all the way to the boundary. So good flurry of shots there by Stephen Natrum.
And Natrum in full flow now, this time towards a backward point, and Clovis comes around and does the filling. 1 more to the total. The score has moved to 80 for 2. Stephen Natrum has gone to 81 for 2. Stephen Natrum has gone to 42. Just a slight correction there. Stephen Natrum has gone to 42. 42 from some 27 deliveries. It brings a Prosper, Aline Prosper on strike, and back of a length out, back down the track to Joseph. Joseph, back of a length this time. Prosper can only muster.
Get more with our Massy card. 1 card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massy stores and Massy card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massy stores or www.massycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massy card can bring.
Central Mindo Heritage should be able to get the additional 19 runs to join the 100 club.
Certainly it looks on the card, particularly if Stephen Natrum stays there, and in the sort of mood that he's in, one would think that the 100 club is well within sight for the Mindo, Central Castries Mindo Heritage. And they look well set. Mindo Heritage, Aline Prosper is doing the right thing. He's not the major contributor in his 27-run partnership. He's on 2. And Natrum this time into the breeze. Natrum picks him up, and that is a huge 6 over Wildish long on, and 6 more to the total. 87 from Natrum.
Yes, a real slog sweep shot there by Stephen Natrum, just hitting young Simmons way over the roof of the Johnson Charles building, and from my observation, the ball may very well have been lodged on the roof. But huge sticks indeed by Stephen Natrum, and he has really picked up the 94 6 hit struck right in the tournament thus far.
Certainly, Natrum has moved to 48 and 50 in sight for him. It will be the second 50 of the tournament if he gets over that line. And 87, the 100 club, certainly Mindo, Central Castries Mindo Heritage looking to join that 100 club. And with that shot from Stephen Natrum, the captain, they would think the chances are very good to getting that sort of, getting part of that club.
Yes, Natrum started a bit slow in this inning, just like the previous, his first game, and I did indicate perhaps the captaincy was weighing down on him a bit, but certainly we saw him really switching gear, and really the sort of player that we know him to be. The first game, it was really uncharacteristic of Stephen Natrum, I thought. And this inning, he's really playing a captain knock.
Yes, and Romario Simmons has opted to go around the wicket into Natrum. The batsmen profiting the opportunity during that short break to rehydrate themselves, and Natrum might need that rehydration as well. Simmons around the wicket to Natrum, and Natrum is picking out towards the backward square. They come through for 1, and the fielder comes around its calendar and limiting them to just 1 run. The score has moved on by 1 to 88. Natrum is 1 shy of his 50. What would be a very good half century for Stephen Natrum if he gets there. And the Prosper is on strike. Simmons into Prosper, and Prosper out towards the long off. 1 bounce into 2 bounces into the fielder Daniel Jabatis, and they come through for 1. Prosper doing the right thing on this occasion, giving strike back to his captain Stephen Natrum.
Yes, not soaking up too many dot balls, and putting the informed Nitram back on strike.
The partnership is flourishing. It's on 35. Simmons will bowl to Nitram, who's on 49, and he picks it up high in the air. Clovis moves under it, settles under it, and he drops it. He spills this one. He was never looking comfortable under this one, and Nitram goes to 50. He's 51. He was never looking comfortable with Clovis under this one.
Never looked comfortable. He got to the drop zone, but you could have just seen the body language. It's as if I do not want this one. But given a chance, but nevertheless, well played 50 by Stephen Nitram.
Yes, certainly a captain's knock, 51 from Stephen Nitram. 91 for 2, and he's dabbing to short-foot man. He's beating Aaron Joseph. Does not feel cleanly. They come through for 1. The second run is on. They take it, and the score moves on by 2 to 93. Nitram has moved on also by 2 to 53. Good, very good platform, good score so far from the Mindu Heritage. The 100 looks in sight and very close for that matter. It's Simmons again into Nitram. Very productive over for Mindu Heritage, and Nitram pulling again out towards Wade Clovis. They're going to watch it over the rope, wide mid-wicket, and they get another 6 to Nitram. They move ever so closer to that 100. 99. The over comes to a close. 99 for 2. And Nitram has moved to 59.
Yes, the end of another successful over again for Central Castries Mindu Heritage. Some 18 runs coming off the 9th over. So 38 runs in the last 2. So certainly they are on course to go past 100 and perhaps eclipse the 116 that Social Coolpot scored.
Xavier Gabriel will have other ideas. Last 6 balls of this innings, and Xavier Gabriel will take up the bowling from the Players Pavilion end, and he will be bowling to Aline Prosper. Aline Prosper is batting on 3 from 5 balls, and he's just edging this one out towards the boundary. Cremwell Charles puts down the big size 13 and cutting it just inside the rope and limiting Prosper to 2. Cremwell Charles coming around very smartly on this occasion. The 100 comes up. 101 for 2. Mindu Heritage in the 100 club.
Yes, they will be pretty much pleased with the effort so far, but they would need to push on much more beyond their 101.
Gabriel again into Prosper, and he's hitting him about the body out towards the mid-on, and the 2 fielders converge. They don't really want it. Leo takes it, and the ball just bubbling up and down to the Fieldman area, and they come through for a 1 leg bye. Brings Nitram back on strike, and a good option for Mindu Heritage.
Yes, very importantly to get Stephen Nitram back on strike. See perhaps if you could face the last 4 deliveries.
Gabriel moves into Nitram and shot over length and through to Johnson Charles. A bit of pace there from Xavier Gabriel, and the Nitram not making any contact on this occasion. 102 for 2. Central Castries Mindu Heritage joining the 100 club. Gabriel again, and he's bowling to Nitram. Nitram will look to get as many as possible for his team, and this time it's high in the air. A fielder coming in sharp, but this one will land short of him. They come through again for 2. High in the air, got the elevation but not the distance, and luckily for him probably he was hitting into the wind, and luckily for him it fell well short of the fielder.
Well, one could say a safe shot. I don't know if it was intentional, but certainly looking perhaps for another maximum on this one coming off the bottom edge. Went high up in the air and dropped safely, and they were able to scamper for 2 easy runs.
50 partnership comes up. Stephen Nitram is on 61, Aline on 5, and Xavier Gabriel, Stephen Nitram just punching this one really into the cover region, and comes through for 1. 105 for 2. Nitram moves to 52. Prosper on 62, sorry, for Natram. Prosper on 5, the partnership 51, 105 for 2. The first 50, I'm being told, is the first 50 in the group stage. Natram hit about the body over the wicketkeeper. Is it? Of the glove, it came off the glove. It's a leg by, it's about the body, off the shoulder, over the wicketkeeper, and goes down to the boundary for 4. A very good finish for the Central Castries, Mindu Heritage, 109 for 2. So a target of 110 to South Castries Lions.
Good score there, posted by the Central Castries Mindu Heritage. Certainly it would be a good challenging score for South Castries to get 110 for victory. That will take some getting. They would be pleased. Much improvement on the first game which they had, where they got some 82 runs, and in the process losing some 6 wickets. So Captain Stephen Natram certainly has put up his hand in this game.
And he's come back very well from his performance in the first game. This time he's played a captain's knock over 62 from 35 balls. He was ably assisted by his opening partner, Gaspar Prosper, playing a nice little cameo of 21 of 13 deliveries. Dwight Thomas's stay was not long at the crease. He got the 4. And Aline Prosper, he was involved in a 55-run partnership with Stephen Natram and getting just 5 out of it. So it speaks to the batting, good partnership and sharing. Aline Prosper giving strike over to his captain.
Yes, it was a good knock by Gaspar Prosper, although one would say a soft dismissal, but nevertheless he came in and he sort of set the platform which they really needed to launch from.
So start with John, the Johnson Charles. Well, he's just having maybe a practice run, or he decided to pull out of it. But Johnson Charles, above everybody else here, will know that he needs to play a major role in getting 110 for their first victory. John, left arm, medium pace, bowling with a solitary slip as he runs away from us. Charles, if that will be the order of the day, is off the mark. Strong right hand, pitched up, not too much bottom hand there. Just leant back and picked it up nicely. So maybe a sign of things to come. It's 6 without loss.
Yes, John on this occasion perhaps looking for the swing, which is renowned for, but just over pitching this one. And Johnson Charles really, as you say, has set the marker and just struck this one way over, long one for 6.
Charles waits, John goes in, and that's pulled away, going like a trace of bullet past the short fine leg. So 2 deliveries, 10 runs already in the board, and the St. Lucia, and reluctant to say Windward because he hasn't played a great deal for the Windwards, hasn't played a great deal for St. Lucia of late, and selectors from the West Indies maybe have not picked him because of that. He is rushed to 10 of two deliveries.
Yes, he is already signaling his indication that he's not going to muck around.
Still the solitary slip. John is in, and Charles, good pose, looking to hit that through mid-wicket, or going through the boundary. Surprised that Johnson Charles has not figured at the St. Lucian level or the Windward level. Of course, we've had little cricket over the last year, but beyond that.
Well, 2019 there was an issue with him, and where training was concerned.
John into Charles. Charles pulls at that square leg, not defended. The man is inside the circle. So already 14 runs. Must be a little worrying for Central Castries that they have started John has started in this fashion.
Well, he's looking to bounce Johnson Charles, which I do not think is the the proper idea, the proper tactic to guard Johnson. If he's going to be swinging the ball, perhaps look to it is true Johnson may play the lofted drive, but he needs to give himself a chance to get that ball to swing, because he's not going to get Johnson's chance out with a bouncer that easily.
Well, he's been hitting the ball very cleanly as he hits this one very clean into the stand named after him, hitting the seat and bouncing back. This is an early slaughter here. 22 runs. Must be fairly hard to take for John, and probably he doesn't know where to bowl or what to bowl.
Yes, with that sort of carnage, Reds, the young man perhaps need to bowl the ball wide outside the off-stump, encourage Johnson to drag the ball from outside the off-stump.
And he's got the slip, but he hasn't quite used him there. Now he goes the other way. Too wide outside the off-stump. So he half got it right, but then went just too wide. 23 without loss. Well, they needed that if they were going to get up towards attacking the 109. Charles is 23. Charles is 22. The score is 23. And John, who's conceded 23 runs, starts to move in. What will be the line? Charles tapping away, and that's found the square leg boundary short. And this has been really an assault. 29 without loss. Charles is 28. And what an opening. What an opening over by John that he will never forget for a long time.
The most expensive we've seen so far is in the tournament. 29 runs from Johnson Charles. So really assault there on Dylan John. But Central Castries should know if they can see the back of Johnson Charles, perhaps early enough, they would still be in with a fighting chance.
Well, he must have a theory that Johnson Charles is suspect at the short ball. I think any ideas of that has gone its way. This was a man who got 2 ODI hundreds, scored against Australia. So it's none for 29. So Colvis, who's been really a spectator now gets a chance to take guard, and we'll get some spin as Ellie Box will come in. Looks like it's going to be left arm orthodox, and that's swept fine if there was some baton to it, and wide call. So 2 more runs to the total. It's up to 31. We've had 6 legal deliveries ball. Ellie Box almost about to deliver. Don't think that Charles was quite ready. Pressure on Ellie Box. If Charles flicks it away, they take 1. Will there only be 1? Charles not straight away attacking the spinner, taking the single, giving the strike away as he moves up to 29 of 7. Ellie Box bowls. That's a repeat for leg before and turned down by the umpire. Looking to sweep at that. Way to pitch. Difficult from here. The keeper is in fact blocking our view. And for 32, 1.2 overs bowled. Don't have any sun right now, but there's no threat of rain. It's cool afternoon, late in the good evening. That's lopped around by Colvis, who finally gets off the mark. So he is 1. Charles is already 29. The total none for 33. There is international cricket being played elsewhere. Pakistan, Zimbabwe, Pakistan were batting first. Charles looking to flick that away. It's outside leg stump. West Indies women are in Antigua in a major camp under Coach Courtney Walsh. 22 awarded contracts yesterday. Drives back towards the bowler. And dot ball recorded. So far, so good. It's been a quiet over. The spinners worked there, definitely.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line. No more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up. Got more time to chill, yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Alan Prosper in his lineup, but we've seen him turn to Sanjay Hills, so it looked like it's piece from the northern end. So here's Sanjay Hills will come in to replace Dylan John.
Well, we didn't expect that John will get a second over. So he lay box. None for 4. John none for 29. And it's going to be Charles wide delivery. All wide now. And
Sanjay Hills.
Charles 29, Colvis 1. And the partnership was rushed up to 33. Mainly all Johnson Charles. So just a solitary slip as Charles goes for a big wipe, and that takes the outside edge. And not quite middling on that occasion. He middled everything else.
Clovis there.
Charles moves to Clovis. Correction. Clovis get him to 5. And the total going up to 37. 37 with our loss. Scoreboard says it's 56. Delivery which is outside the off stump, but looking to aim through mid wicket, playing with a close face. He's got to play the second fiddle role. He needs to just get a single, Greg, and turn the strike over.
Yes, because Captain Johnson Charles is already in blistering pace there.
Top edge, who will take it, and mid-on takes it very easily. So, didn't try to just push the ball into the gap and turn the strike over to get Johnson Charles back. He went for an aggressive shot through the onside, top edge, caught down on mid-on, and they are now 38 for 2.
Yes, Sanjay Hills really pitching this one short, and Win Clovis was never in control. Really, the ball coming off the splice of the bat and presenting a relatively easy catch to Dylan John. So South Castries Lions have lost their first wicket on 38.
Charles is 20.
Born from the same soil, growing stronger.
Raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
I'll bank for you and me,
taking us forward so proudly. First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far.
The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's a First National way.
Every day we're banking.
9.3 is gone to 15, as you heard us outside the off stump. Looking to play it down towards, chip it down towards a backward point, or maybe just open the face enough to run it. The third man makes no contact, throws his head in the air, as if to say, how can I miss that? Charles, 29, batting with a blue helmet. contrasting colors in the outfit of the two teams, and that's a wide, and Charles just throwing the bat at it. I'll tell you at the end of the day how many wides from this end and how many wides from the far end, but it might be difficult to record all of that. Which end that the wide has come from. Maybe we're asking too much of Roland Cox, and that's pull and pull very, very quickly through the hands of mid-wicket. By the time mid-wicket can get the hand up, it was really jetting past him. Short delivery, short arm pull, 43 for 1. And Charles now moving further up as he goes up to what? 30, 29 and 37, I would think. 43 for 1. That's short delivery, which really looked to swat it away outside the line of the off stump. That's the end of the third over. And after 3 overs, board says 43 for 1. Charles is. I want to check with Roland Cox. What you got Charles at, Roland? 53. Charles is 33. The board is a little behind. The board on the far side, not, of course, our screen in front of us. Charles 33 of 12. 43 for 1. We've had 2 overs completed.
Yes, 3 overs, Reds, 43. So they are going at a good pace. And Charles certainly taking his toll on the pacers in particular. And both Dylan John and Sanjay Hales have decided to bowl short and Jones to Charles, and he's really dispatched those short pitch delivery from them.
The left half, then Simmons, small man, and helped by delivery outside the leg stump, which will be pulled back just inside the boundary. They come back for the second, so 3 to be added. 49 for 1 on the board. So, not a bad reply by any means, but mainly the hope of South Castries relying on Charles. But it is Simmons who's in strike, and Simmons turns out towards fine legs or attempt to. And by not touching the leg, so it came off the bat. Simmons is 1. And Johnson Charles continue to attack. He prefers the faster version. He likes the pace. How you're going to handle the spin. Well, he's on 33 and needs to handle it for his side. The long on is coming in. The long off drops back. There is almost an extra cover now. A very wide long off. There's a mid wicket, no deep square leg, and Charles clips it away, aiming to go offside. And the ball came in. He went out towards mid wicket. So a rare single by Charles as he moves to 34. And Simmons goes back and strike his 1 for 48. We are in the 4th over. That goes back. And quickly the ball came into him. Seemed to be late in playing the shot. So well bowled by Prosper. He's only conceded 5 runs in this over. Bowling around the wicket. Delivery is stuck towards a short fine leg. Easy single. Charles is back in strike. That's important for South Castries. Charles 34. 3.4 overs. Needing 110. Charles gets a delivery which goes over the stump, I take it. Beating the off stump. Trying to pull at it, but he got the length of the ball wrong. So he looks to sweep out, gets one, will stay with one. I'm surprised that they didn't look for the second, but I think he would like to keep the strike. Good thinking there by Charles. 4 overs completed, and after 4 overs, he's 35, and they have raced to 50.
Hi, I'm Tedison John of the Tedison John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
The 50 came in exactly in the fifth over. They were 50 for 1 after 5.
Johnson Charles has got them ahead. What it will be after 5? And after 5, Clive Jules will come in to take you to the end, and that will decide who will pick up their first victory. This is the last day of the first week. We have seen a lot of runs already scored in the opening game here. So Sukwa to move in to try and control the power of hitting of Charles. He's on 35. Sukwa goes in. Charles swings it away. Whoa! Into his stand. Mid-wicket. And luckily, none of the who have been sitting in that area have really taken their seats today. Huge hit as Charles races up to 41. 41 of 17 balls. It's 1 for 56, Greg.
Yes, Johnson Charles is just continuing the assault on the medium fast bowlers, Red, but I think Captain Stephen Natrum is really missing the trick out there, because the two medium pacers prior to this delivery have gone for 49 runs, and the spinners have only gone for 11.
Sukwa, that's driven, and no ball signal. So it'll be a free hit, and they come back for the second run. They work on the field, but not all that good in picking it up. The ball was coming very, very quickly, and Charles had virtually given up that it will only be a single. Then saw the slight fumble, came back for the second. He's back in strike as he goes up to 43, and it's 1 for 59. 1 for 59. Sukwa once more goes in. Charles hit that high over cover. It's gonna kick on, and I think into the boundary, yes. It was falling. Young man, cover coming around, couldn't pick it up. Charles is 47, and at this rate, they're gonna run past the 109, and we wouldn't get into the 10th over.
Doesn't seem so at all, Reds. But he's really taking a serious beating to the fast bowlers.
So Sukwa in, 63 for 1, he's 47. What will he be off the next ball? He will in fact be on 51. He is on 51 now. On the total, well, add 2 more. 53, Johnson Charles, and total going up. 69, Roland Cox.
The Empire signal 6.
So 69 for 1. Johnson Charles is 53 off 20 balls, and still more to come. Sukwa brave to come in and bowl once more, and Charles clips that away. It will be just a single. Total contrast to what has been happening, and he gives the strike away, knowing that there are 2 balls to come. Well, what will his partner do in reading the game? So Charles is 54, Simmons is 2. It's 1 for 70. We've had 4.4 overs gone.
Yes, serious carnage out there by Johnson Charles. some 54 runs in just 21 deliveries, 3 fours and 6 sixes.
Super. Conceded 20 runs. Small man comes in, and the left-hander Simmons drives at that, but maybe not really coming across, standing and no more using the feet. So a rare dot ball, just momentarily relieving the pressure. Super. 20 runs conceded after 5 balls. Davis Jules will be your next commentator. And he might be, in fact, describing Charles hitting the winning run. Who knows? Charles is 54. He's a non-striker. And that clipping pace outside the off stump. And before the batsman could get into position, the left-hander Simmons to play the shot. The over is completed. 5 gone. Charles has raced to 54. Simmons is 2. The rate is they're striking at 14. And maybe Central not as confident as when they walked out, knowing that they had to get 110. They're already after 5 overs. Greg got 70 on the board.
Yes, Johnson Charles really striking out there at a blistering pace. He has a strike rate of 257. So some 54 of just 21 ball. But Captain Stephen Nettram certainly, for me, has really missed the plot out there. The faster bowlers have gone for some 59 runs. Right?
And Kyle Adonis coming into the attack, Greg Wilson, and he's given the same treatment from Johnson Charles just on this occasion, genuflecting and hitting over long off for 6. Johnson Charles continuing his assault on the bowlers of the Central Castries Mindu heritage.
Yes, with well set Johnson Charles, or perhaps as in 6th at this point in time. We will not even say he's in 5th, because really he has really launched an assault on the fast bowlers, especially Dylan John and Tyler Sukwa.
He's moved to 60, Johnson Charles. The score has moved to 76. Adonis into Johnson Charles, and he's cutting a gap, trying to find that gap at a backward point. A diving stop from Jaden Eli Box, and limiting the scoring to just 1. Johnson Charles moves to 61. The score moves on to 77 for 1. Central Castries really motoring along now, Greg.
Brilliant piece of fielding there by Jaden Eli Box. This one had 4 written all over it, so certainly saved 3 runs for his team.
It was traveling as Adonis travels into, and he's wrapped him on the pads. There's an appeal, they go up, and the umpire is not interested. Umpire Darius is not interested, and Simmons playing back to this delivery, Greg Wilson, as Adonis comes in and bowls into Simmons again. This time Simmons is pushing into the onside, a short mid-wicket in Prosper. Comes around, the score remains on 77. Simmons is on 2. Charles on 61. Adonis again into Simmons. This time he's backing away and driving into the offside. He was looking, the ball was stopped, but the fielder didn't have it in his hand. There was an idea of a run from Simmons, but it was not on. It certainly would have been a suicidal run, as Adonis again moves into Simmons, and Simmons is playing outside off what looks a very lazy shot outside off. Great.
Yes, very nonchalant in his effort. But good.
Today, I would like to introduce you to the fixed special deposit. What's so special about this deposit? It is all about you, the customer. The interest rates and maturity periods are negotiable. That's how special this is. The special deposit instrument was designed to meet the needs of those who cannot be accommodated within the existing investment options. For more information on our special deposit and other investments, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740 or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
J Hills went for 10 and Tyler Sukwa went for 20. So between the three fast bowlers, they have gone for some 59 runs. So certainly the spinners are the ones who should be doing the bulk of the bowling. And it looks like Mechanic Clark is going to come into the attack.
More pace, more pace.
So really do not understand what exactly is happening. You know, what is the thinking of Stephen Natram out there? And you would have expected the likes of perhaps Aline Prosper, Gaspar Prosper, even Dwight Thomas to have perhaps pointed that out to him.
Certainly missing the trick on this occasion, and Mechanic Clark comes in and he will be bowling to Johnson Charles. And Johnson Charles today has shown that he can really take the attack to the bowlers. Clark moves into Charles, a shot outside off stump. This one is a touch too far. Johnson Charles does not make contact. Umpire Maffrin signals the wide, and the score moves on by 1 to 78 for 1. Charles remains on 61. The partnership is 40, and Simmons has just 2 out of that. The scoring rate, the current run rate is 13. The required rate is only 8. Some 32 runs needed for victory. Charles, full delivery outside of, and this one is finding the outside edge and racing to the boundary. The third man boundary, and 4 more to Johnson Charles. 4 more to the total. Charles moves on to 65. The score moves on to 82. Another victory, another good boundary for Charles Gregg.
Yes, he's just continuing the carnage against the faster bowlers, and they are providing him with the sort of pace that he wants to continue his stroke play. And just looking at the pattern of Stephen Natram, spin, pace, spin, pace, spin, pace, and that is what his pattern is.
Maybe he that was decided from the dressing room, and he's sticking to his guns there. Johnson Charles is sticking to his guns and hitting another one over extra cover out towards the boundary. 4 more runs to Johnson Charles, and this 110 is looking like it will not be enough, Greg Wilson.
Certainly will not be enough with the sort of tactics that we've seen from the Central Castries Mindu Hatred, in particular Captain Stephen Natram. He certainly has missed the trick on this occasion.
86 for 1. Clark to Charles, who's batting on 69. He steps into it and drives out back towards the bowler. A half stop there, but no chance of a run there. Johnson Charles remains on 69. A red dot ball from Mechanic Clark.
Yes, at this point in time, every dot ball looks like gold.
And they would do well with a few more of that. The score is 86, 24 required from 22 balls. And the South Castries Lions in control at the minute. A full delivery into Johnson Charles, heading down towards the leg side. The umpire, there's an appeal. The umpire is not interested. Johnson Charles would think he had missed out on this occasion, Greg.
Certainly missed out. Looking at the onside, Tyler Sukwa is the only one in the mid-wicket area. So once he had gotten this one past the fielder at square leg, that would have been certain 4.
Clark will bowl to Johnson Charles, batting on 69 from 26 deliveries. And this time he's out towards mid-wicket. Tyler Sukwa comes around. He does the fielding. He comes through for 1. The score moves on by 1 to 87. Charles is 70. 23 required to win, Greg Wilson. At this point, advantage?
Certainly, South Castries Lions, no two ways about that.
The fall of Johnson Charles now, what do you think would that really hamper the
well, it would increase the chances of this Castries window heritage for sure.
Final delivery of the over. Mechanic Clark into Romario Simmons. A lifting delivery, that length that we've spoken of so many times. And Romario Simmons not making any contact. The over comes to an end. It is 87. 87 for 1 after 7 overs. And Johnson Charles is on 70 from 28 balls. Romario Simmons is on 2 from 10 deliveries. The South Castries Lions require another 23 runs to win from the final 3 overs.
Yes, Johnson Charles really enjoying a good knockout in the middle, but one would say that they perhaps serving him the sort of diet that he wants. And he's really feasting on that sort of shot bowling.
And it's spin, Jaden Libox, left time around and into Johnson Charles, who's driving out towards long on. He comes through for 1. All along the carpet on this occasion, Johnson Charles not going the aerial route against the spinners.
But another observation, young Simmons have not been able to really get the ball away. Perhaps it will be a good opportunity to perhaps force him to play the big shots and look to really close in the field on him and restrict Johnson Charles at the non-strikers end. We have not seen that ploy being employed either.
Your captaincy skills coming out to the fore, Greg Wilson, and you would have captained the Central Cast.
I would not have lost that much away for a score of 109. I would guarantee you this. Yeah.
88 for 1. Simmons is batting on 2, and we've been told by Roland Cox that Johnson Charles scored 1 of 2 centuries. The other centurion would have been Kimani Melius, and this time Eli Box is wide outside off stump through to Prosper, who doesn't collect cleanly, and umpire Darius signaling the wide there. The score moves on by 1 to 89. 21 runs to win, some 21 from 18 balls, and with 9 wickets in hand, Central Castries definitely in the driver's seat. Another wide again from Eli Box. Extras really helping the cause of the Lions and not doing so for the Central Castries Mindu Heritage team. Eli Box again into Simmons, and Simmons is offering a big expansive drive outside of stump. He is out stumped. He lost his balance and presenting a fairly good chance to Gasper Prosper. Probably the back of Romario Simmons leaving would be good for the South Lions.
Yes, this would be a blessing in disguise because you have the likes of Kemrol Charles, Colinius Calendar, Alvidas Calendar to come, and these are guys who could really hit the ball. So they would have been best to allow Simmons to continue the batting out there because he really has not done much with the bat.
And Simmons scoring just 2 from 11 balls, so he was soaking up many dot balls. So Central Castries again might have missed the trick to getting Simmons out stumped. He was going nowhere fast and was really presenting Central Castries with a lifeline in this game by just sticking out there and soaking away balls. So Central Castries could have employed the strategy, giving him the strike, bringing him the field, keep him on strike, provide him the single last couple of balls in the over, and start Johnson Charles off the strike.
Yes, they certainly have missed the trick out there. The Stephen Natram, but I thought that he perhaps should have gotten a little more assistance from some of the senior players out there. Like I said, in the likes of Gasper Prosper and even Alan Prosper and Dwight Thomas. Certainly those more senior players, they really did not provide this sort of assistance to the captain, Stephen Natram.
They've left him to his own devices, and probably one of them could have whispered in his ear. But nevertheless, Wendell Inglis has come in to join his captain, Johnson Charles. The score is 90 for 2. Some 20 runs required from 17 balls. Inglis is forward, pushes into the offside, and Aline Prosper comes around The score remains on a 90 for 2. 20 needed from 16. Eli Box into English, and English is looking to play into the onside, and he's bowled him. He's bowled, played all around this one, English, and he is bowled. Eli Box is in the middle of a really good over, and it comes back to what you were saying, Greg Wilson. The spinners are really doing it for Central Castries Mindu Heritage.
Yes, the spinners have been very economical. Looking at the stats, the 4 overs, well, 3.3 overs that has been bowled so far by the spinners. None of the spinners who have bowled the previous 3 overs have gone for more than 7 runs in the over. So hence my reason for saying the captain, Stephen Natram, should have gone to his spinner.
Remember me? Still standing, I see. It took me 8 minutes to get to you from New Village. 5 minutes if I ran. You told me I could become somebody. Anybody if I put my mind to it. I saw the world through your eyes, and it was mine to conquer. That's my Castries.
To join his captain with 20 needed from 15 balls. Would you think with the fall of these 2 wickets, a bit of a panic setting in for Central Castries Lions?
I am not. With the captain, Johnson Charles, still out in the middle, and the way he's batting, Johnson just needs 6 deliveries to possibly end the game.
Certainly, and Jaden, Eli Box will have differently this time. Calendar is driving out towards long off. Dwight Thomas comes around, but before they come through for 1, the score moves on by 1 to 91. Calendar is off the mark immediately, calling us Calendar and giving strike to his captain, Johnson Charles. But just 1 delivery left, 1 legal delivery left in the over, and Eli Box into Charles. Charles is pushing into the offside, and a misfield from Prosper, and will give Johnson Charles the single, but more importantly, he will retain strike as the over comes to an end. 92 for 3. Johnson Charles is on strike. 2 overs to go and some 18 runs to get. Not a good bit of tactic, not a good bit of cricket there from the Central Castries Mindu Heritage on this occasion, Greg.
Yes, poor cricket indeed. The last over was very successful, as we could see. Some 2 wickets went down in this over, and the young Jaden Eli Box only conceding 5 runs in the process. So he certainly had a good enough spell, bowled some 2 overs, 9 runs, and picked up 2 wickets.
A very good spell from Jaden Eli Box. The spinners have really made a difference in this game. They've actually kept the Central Castries Mindu Heritage in it. Not that they're in the driver's seat at all, but they're at least in the bus still. Johnson Charles has not completely taken it away from them. And it's for the first time we're going to see spinners bowling back-to-back from Natram. You might have heard what you were saying here, Greg, and he's brought on Prosper, Alain Prosper, and he will be bowling the penultimate over of the match starting to Johnson Charles.
Yes, they need to see the back of Johnson Charles in this over, and very early at that if they are to win this game.
And it's Prosper and bowls to Johnson Charles. Johnson Charles, he's out toward mid wicket, and they come through for 1. Tyler Sukwa does the fielding on the boundary, limiting them to just 1. 17 required now, and for the first time, the Blue Worm has met up with the Blue Worm of South Castries. They've met up with the Worm of Central Castries. But Johnson Charles on 73, and Linus Calendar outside of his beaten. He's playing both feet together, looking to push into the offside, and completely beaten. All ends up, and no run resulting though, but a good delivery from Alain Prosper.
Valuable dot ball.
8.2, 93 for 2, and Calendar is very agricultural. There is an appeal. All sorts of things happening out there. Good delivery again. Another dot delivery. Calendar is very agricultural in his approach on this occasion.
Yes, but he perhaps looking for a bit of heroics and really missing the tricks by not putting Captain Johnson Charles back on strike.
He should do well. He would do well to give the strike to Charles, and this time it's up in the air. There's a fielder under it. He makes a meal of it. They come through for one, and think about the second. Johnson Charles has refused the second run. 1 to Calendar, 1 to the total. 94 for 3. Some 16 required from the last over and 2 balls. 8 balls, 16 runs required. Johnson Charles on strike, and very importantly so for the South Castries Lions.
Yes, it's getting very interesting.
Who can hold their nerve? Can Prosper hold his nerve? Johnson Charles is edging, and this time, as I like to call it, an educated edge. It does not appear deliberate, but he's edging and getting that ball going down to the boundary for 4.
Yes, one was always of the firm belief that coming down to the back end of the inning, a third man is always needed, whether it is to fast bowler or whether it was spinner.
Friedman was in the circle on this occasion. He would have been well served if he was out on the boundary. And this time, he connects. This time he connects, and this one is huge. Might have gone out into the car park above us there, and Johnson Charles connecting. The 100 comes up for the South Castries Lions. The over comes to a close. Johnson Charles has moved to 83. It's some 104 for 3 South Castries Lions. Calendar is on 2. Johnson Charles is 83 from 33 balls, some 6 4s and 8 6s.
Yes, not a good end to the over there by Alan Prosper. The last 2 deliveries conceding some 10 runs. What was shaping up to be a fairly good over, but Johnson Charles having been out there for such a long time opening the inning, one would say in the local parlance, seeing the ball as big as a breadfruit. So certainly he took full advantage of a ball that was just to be just tossed up outside the Austin, and he took full advantage of it. So Central Castries window heritage still have another 6 runs to look to defend. Can they do that in the last over, Clive Jules, with Johnson Charles off strike?
6 runs to defend, and with the approach that Calendar has used, I'm not sure that they will not be able to defend it. Calendar is looking to play hero, and he's gone for the big shots, and he'll be better served providing strike to his captain, Johnson Charles. It's Adonis, Kyle Adonis, the youngster Kyle Adonis coming in for his first game, and he's been charged with the final delivery. 6 runs to defend. Will Kyle Adonis do it?
It's a big ask for the youngster, but this is the game of cricket. And come up the hour, come up the man.
Adonis, 6 to defend, 104 for 3. He's bowling to Calendar on 2. Adonis and wraps on the pad. Johnson Charles comes through. He's diving, but Jaden does not collect cleanly. Johnson Charles really wanted the strike, and he rushed through for a delivery that wraps Calendar on the pads. But Johnson Charles was quick to react, and he was in before Eli Box was able to pick up that ball and get it back to the keeper.
Yeah, that is a sign of a captain who really wants a victory, and he wants to take up the responsibility to take his team home. Reacted very quickly.
And 5 from 5. Kyle Adonis to Johnson Charles. A short third man backward point. Adonis to Charles, and Charles is pulling out towards mid-wicket, and they just come through for 1. That's all there will be. A good return comes in, and that's all there will be. So it's 4 from 4. It's getting very, very close, Greg Wilson.
Well, Johnson Charles is not challenged for a second run. Seems to believe this is well in the bag already.
seem to believe that Calendar has what it takes to win him this game. Adonis into Calendar. Calendar is backing away and missing the ball completely. Calendar into the glove of Gaspar Prosper. So it's still 4 from 3. It's getting very interesting. Kyle Adonis, can he do it for his team? Adonis and Calendar picks him up high, and 2 fielders come under it, but it goes over. It's 6 runs and it's all over. Colinas Calendar has done it for the South Castries Lions, and they're home 112 for 3. The South Castries Lions finishing it with some 2 balls to go.
Yes, the Lions certainly roaring on this occasion, but a lot has to be credited to the captain, Johnson Charles, who really played a captain knock. Some 84 runs come out, which came out just 44 deliveries with six fours and 8 sixes. So far, the most sixes in an inning. But good game. It went down to the wire, one would say, down to the 10th over. But Private, if we were to really look back at the sort of tactics that was used by Captain Natram, one would really say that he really missed the trick out there, because he came out with a set pattern where he opened with a fast bowler, then a spin, and it just continued, not realizing that the faster bowlers were the ones that were going for the runs, whereas the spinners were very economical, with the exception of this last over. All the overs that were bowled by the spinners never went for double figures.
That is absolutely correct. And skipper Natram, one could conclude that he really missed the trick, and really giving South Castries Lions an easy way through to the total. He should have picked up that his spinners were the most economical out of his bowlers. And we have the 2 captains. Let's hear from the 2 captains out on the field. Let's go to our on-field crew.
Stephen, you were off to a good start.
Yeah, well, with 110 on the board, we felt we had a chance, but with player like Johnson Charles on the other team, anything can happen. 1 ball can get out, but today he came to the party, brought his team home.
You certainly had a very good, strong performance today as well.
Yeah, it feels good to get some runs, but in the end, it didn't look like it wasn't enough. Probably 10-20 runs short at the end.
All the best.
Thank you.
Jono, the defense has begun?
Yes, definitely. Like I said last match, we needed to work on some stuff, and unfortunately, our fielding wasn't up to par today again. But our batting has clicked, and that's one more attribute in the 3 attributes that has come up, and it's lovely to see.
I'm sure you didn't mind the total that was scored, but you must be a little concerned about the bowlers allowed certain things to get out of control.
Not really. The opposition has quality batsmen, so other guys, the other teams, would score runs, but we would have liked to pin them down for a lot less, but it happens. So the batsmen just have to click and come good.
So what's the approach now that you've made a statement today?
Definitely, we're just looking to win. We've lost our game. We're just looking to win all the others. You definitely don't want to lose in a semi-final position or final position. So it's good that we lost our game, and now we're just starting our winning spree.
And obviously, you want some of the batsmen up front to come to the party as well.
Definitely, that's what you always want from your batsmen. But you do understand that every day a man can score. So things happen, and just hopefully that they come to the party.
Congratulations, all the best for the rest.
Thank you.
There you heard it from the 2 captains. Johnson Charles now said that the winning streak and the title defense has really started for the South Castries Lions. And we're getting set for another big game this afternoon. Grozili Cannon Blasters taking on Soufrière Sulphur City Stars. A big game coming on for this afternoon. We have the likes of Julian Sylvester and Mesmin for Soufrière. We have Kimani Melius, who's not really blazed the trail with the bat so far. But a big game for this afternoon, Greg Wilson.
Yes, very interesting. Soufrière certainly would want to get into winning ways, and Grizzly would want to continue their dominance.
That's what's happening, and we just want to say quickly, shout out to our title sponsor Dream 11, Calabash TV and Albies Media, Flow, Made in Paradise, Scott Sports and Awards, the Trophy Center, Blue Waters, Full 100, First National Bank, Kendall M. Gill Chambers. That is all for now. We come back in a few minutes for the big game this afternoon.